Hello people of YouTube, it's Deepak here, and welcome to the DCS news for the 16th of April 2022. I hope you all enjoyed the most recent Hornet tutorial video there, JDAMs in target of opportunity mode. A nice, simple, quick, effective way of employing the JDAM without having to do too much pre-planning. Welcome to the stream everybody, welcome Tog, welcome Storm Kambari, welcome Tog again, Stevie B, Byron, and Agamemnon, Fair, Fault Driver, hello everybody, welcome to the stream. So yes, that's the most recent one in my series. Next week we're going to take a little look at the JSO. Now the JSO is very similar to the JDAM and has much the same kind of employment mechanisms. However, it's a glide bomb and so can be employed at much greater ranges. So that will be bit of excitement for next week. It also has a variety of different kind of warhead types as well. It's not just a dumb bomb. There are versions that drop bomblets, and there are versions with penetrating warheads and all kinds of exciting stuff to go over. RTB models, welcome to the stream, sir. So yes, that was that. I hope you enjoyed the video. The series in the Hornet will continue. There's still a lot more to cover, and I'll almost certainly be making these videos for quite some months yet. But anyway, without any further ado, let's continue with the DCS news. Sadly, dotChuckles' work schedule doesn't allow him to join again this week, so you're stuck with just me. And again, there's actually not that much news. I think there must be some bigger things in the works which are going to drop soon. And that probably accounts for the kind of the lack of DCS news to go over. However, there's a bit more than there has been the last 2 weeks, so we do actually have some things to discuss tonight. Fair. Wag's told that they're changing TOO mode on the next patch. Oh, fantastic. Yes, of course he has. Of course he said they're going to change it. Interesting. Don't insult the bombs by calling them dumb. Well, you know. I don't know what you want to call them then. Unguided bombs. Mirage F1 soon, says Byron. Yes. Tog, Falklands. Yes. Yes to all of these. So anyway, let's begin with the newsletter, as we always do. The Eagle Dynamics newsletter. They're pleased to inform us of further DCS MI24P Hind progress for the next open beta update. They're preparing several bug fixes and system improvements. Please read the details below. We're delighted to announce the AH-64D livery competition. If your submission is selected, your work will be included as an official livery for the module. You will also receive a free copy of DCS AH-64D or any other DCS module. Given that you're making a livery for the DCS AH-64D, there's a decent chance you already own it, so I guess that's good that they added the option for any other. South Atlantic soon, yes. Can't wait for the Afghanistan map, says Matt Jones. Yes, I've not heard that much about it, so I don't know anything about when that's due to drop. RTB Models, just wanted to say thank you for your tutoring on the AV-8, big help. Thank you very much. Yeah, the Harrier is it continues to be my favourite aircraft. I really do like it. Yeah, Harrier all the way. Byron, when I drop them, they are misguided youth bombs, yes. Fingers crossed for the South Atlantic, says Fair, and Special Ordnance, says Tom. So anyway, the MI24P Hind development progress. One of the new features coming in the next MI24P update is the KM2 magnetic declination adjustment system. Now, I wonder, does anybody actually know what this kind of a system does? So, because the helicopter can be used in various places around the world, the magnetic declination system is a central point where you can adjust the aircraft for the declination that needs to be applied where you are. Depending on how north or south you are, there will be, well, actually, really just depending upon your position on the Earth, there will be some magnetic variation. And of course, your default heading indicators in an aircraft tend to be magnetic. The aircraft needs to know where you are in the world so that you can apply that magnetic adjustment. Another thing to note is that the magnetic adjustment changes year on year as well. So it's a system that needs to be tweaked, and then you can get more accurate headings. Yes. I've gotten used to the yaw channel going haywire and compensating for it. Then I'll have to retain my muscle memory. Yeah. Yep, talking about the Hind. Do we know or believe this technology really exists in the Hind if it's marked with a red star? Yes, this does actually exist. This is a real system. So yeah, as they describe it, the co-pilot gunner will have to dial magnetic variation into the KM2 to get the true heading on the RMI. Yeah, basically as I described. When the CPG is Petrovich AI, he will automatically adjust it as soon as the course system Greben is switched on, or if you start from a hot aircraft. A number of new keybinds have been added for all radios, and some conflicts have been resolved. Separate key bindings for CPG weapons selector were also added. We've resolved several more frustrating bugs, like the ATGM shoe selector panel between multi-crew players desync, and the rocket side selector bug. We addressed the heading autopilot channel bug that prevented the heading autopilot channel from switching to idle and back to heading hold mode. We're currently refactoring the pedals trim system and pedals microswitchy system. For the next development report, we will bring you the completed implementation of the R-60 air-to-air missile to the Hind. That's going to be quite exciting, giving the Hind a more effective air-to-air capability. That's pretty cool. Then we've got the Apache livery competition. Using the official texture template found here, we are holding an H64D livery contest. The top 10 submissions will have their work featured as an official H64D livery and will receive an Eagle Dynamics module of your choice. Here are some of the requirements and details. Livery must be created using the template. The livery must be based on current or historic schemes from any H64 variant. The livery must be associated with one of the countries currently present in DCS. Here are the instructions for saving textures, blah, blah, blah. Here's how you submit. Yeah, bunch of instructions. The contest will run until the 29th of May. All 10 winners will receive a free copy of DCS H64D or any other Eagle Dynamics module. They could have just said any Eagle Dynamics module. That would have made sense. Magnetic calibration needed to be done at least each 3 years in every aircraft IFR certified. Yes, fair. That's my understanding. Although, to be honest, in the VFR aircraft, we always have adjusted instruments as well. Do I smell a dogfight between the Hind and Apache using air-to-air missiles soon? There was... Am I right in thinking it was always intended that the Apache would be able to carry Stingers, but I don't know if it ever did. Yeah, so that's an interesting one. And in the Hind, these R60s, I would assume they're the original R60s, not the modernized ones. So I would be surprised if they're particularly effective in any case. But hey, you know, used against another helicopter, they're probably extremely effective. So there is that. And we've got another new campaign. Eagle have been really advertising a lot of new campaigns recently. This one is for the F-14. It's F-14B Operation Sandworm, campaign by Sandman Simulations. The date is 1988, and tensions in the Persian Gulf are growing rapidly. Human rights violations, brutal military crackdowns on rallies, and the executions of political prisoners have led to US and EU sanctions against Iran. In response, Iran has been conducting regular violations of the airspace of neighbouring countries and obstructing international shipping through the strait. Despite attempts made to resolve the problems diplomatically, the world understands that the situation could get out of control at any moment. To prevent a direct military conflict, the 9th Aviation Wing of the US Navy is being sent to the region. Look out for DCS F-14B Operation Sandworm campaign by Sandman Simulations coming soon. Oh yeah, here we go. Talk says the early Apache was supposed to carry heat seekers. Not sure about the newer Apaches. Yeah, I'm not aware of them ever actually carrying them, but I think the original intention was that they could carry Stingers. That would have been very, very interesting. So that's the newsletter that we have for this week, but there is some additional news. Got a little update from India Foxed Echo on the upcoming MB339. They've provided a full dev update, and one of the big kind of focuses of this is that they're intending to release a complete and quality module as of day one. I think they're another one of the developers that has kind of turned their head against these early access releases somewhat due to the the bad press that they sometimes receive. So it would seem that they're intending to release the module in a complete state from the very get-go, which is nice. So, yeah, they're apparently being uncompromising when it comes to details of the simulation. They report by their own estimate they've achieved a 95% fidelity compared to the real aircraft. And it sounds like they're simulating some really, really interesting stuff. Like the CDU in this aircraft is being fully simulated, which is the main navigational interface to this aircraft. And it claims here that they've already been receiving feedback from Eagle Dynamics, and they're improving aspects that they'd previously left out, and are also addressing some difficult to find bugs that Eagle managed to dig out. They've offered a checklist for the aircraft, and they've marked the checklist based on what items are and are not implemented. And apparently just about everything is in green right now. The only main things that are in yellow currently are the sequential ejection system, the flight director system, and the rear view mirrors. I'd imagine that at the very least the rear view mirrors will be implemented before release. This is India Fox Echo's first DCS module, and yeah, they're I think it's going to be one to follow. This is an interesting aircraft, and based on the stuff they've done on Microsoft Flight Simulator, I think it's going to be a pretty good release. One thing they mention at the bottom is that a bunch of the unit and tail logos, because they're trademarked by the Italian Air Force, will not be included in the official liveries. So that's a bit unfortunate. Strange that Italy would be so anal about their unit markings. And the funny thing is that actually India Fox Echo are currently in talks to become the official partner with the Italian Air Force for this module. So I guess if they manage to get agreement, they may then be able to include the unit markings. But as of right now, they are not included, sadly. Agamemnon, models had them on demos and stuff like that. You can see them in Firebirds. I don't know if they were ever used operationally. Yeah, that's kind of my understanding, that Stingers were never actually used on the Apache. Okay, on to the next thing. Our man Matt Wagner released a video. I'm not going to do it. And this is Primary Data Link Track, a new feature we're getting for the F-16, I think in the next open beta, he said. And this one's really good. It's like it's a subset, it's a less advanced version of what you have in the Hornet, in your joint helmet-mounted queuing system. In the Hornet, of course, you have a number of symbols that appear in the helmet sight, which give you situational awareness about your wingmen, friendly units, enemy aircraft, and things like that. The F-16 has a much simpler system where you can choose a single item on your HSD and have it presented on your helmet-mounted queuing system for situational awareness. So you could lock up your first target with the radar and have his wingman set up as a PD. What is it getting? A primary data link track? Yeah. Primary data PD or something. Anyway, you get the idea. So he's going to demonstrate it in just a moment here in the video. It's a much shorter video. He puts his HSD cursor over a target, which he's going to show us just now. He presses TMS forward, and that will then put an octagon around it, which will then be displayed in the helmet-mounted queuing system. Hello, Mark S. Welcome to the stream. Let's just watch for a moment as he does this, and you'll get an idea for what it looks like. So, TMS forward short. There you go, you've got an octagon around it in the HSD, and then when he looks out to the right in his helmet queuing system, he will get a symbol. There we go, he's got an octagon around it, and a number underneath which confirms the altitude in angels. So, kind of useful, not nearly as capable as what the Hornet has, but still a pretty cool feature. And my understanding is that it has some interesting logic around surface-to-air missile systems. In that you can display, it's something about like pinning the threat rings, but he doesn't demonstrate that actually in this. But yeah, apparently it has some functionality around surface-to-air missile systems as well, which would be pretty cool. So that's really all there is in this video. Well worth a look as always with the Matt Wagner videos. A nice detailed look at Primary Data Link Track. PDLT, I guess, would be the correct acronym for that one. And then our man Redkite, as the official tutorial video channel for the Mirage F1, has released another tutorial video, this time about the TACAN navigation system in the Mirage F1. Now, with the F1 not having an INS, this is actually the primary and just about the only navigational system you have in the aircraft. It does have VOR in some other systems as well, but you know, being a military aircraft, you're almost certainly going to set and use the TACAN, and it actually has some pretty cool functionality. Most aircraft will allow you to home in on a TACAN station, or even set an inbound or an outbound course. The Mirage has all of that functionality, but it also has the ability to navigate to a TACAN offset. Which, you know, for a steam-powered aircraft is fairly advanced. I know, of course, in aircraft like the Hornet and the Harrier, this is pretty standard, but they're all doing it with multifunction displays and, you know, electronic horizontal situation indicators and things like that. This is doing it with like a steam-powered instrument. I'll fast forward it a little bit till we get to that point. It's doing the whole thing with this steam-powered instrument, and you have the ability with this little knob here to set a distance and a direction, and it will use that as an offset, and you can even navigate to that offset. Now, of course, in that instance, I guess you're probably losing the ability to fly a course, but you can certainly overfly an offset, which is pretty impressive for an aircraft with such a simple navigational fit. So, very, very cool. Very nice bit of functionality, and again with Airgis, you know, this is looking really nicely modelled. You know, we've got some very nice cockpit texturing here, and nice system simulation like this advanced representation of the TACAN in the Mirage F1. So yeah, as always with Redkite's videos, well worth a look, and I would assume that we're going to see a bunch more of these as we make our way towards the release of the Mirage F1. Yeah. Byron, the offset system looks very nice and easy to use. Yes, absolutely. It looks pretty simple. And actually, it somewhat reminds me of the kind of systems that the old Soviet aircraft have around... Oh, now, what is their system called again? They have something which is basic... Yeah, RSBN. They have something which is basically TACAN. But their systems are a bit more simplistic than this. Yeah, like with things like the MiG-21, you had to basically fly a course and then count down a distance in your head, pretty much. It doesn't have the ability to set an offset like this does, which is pretty cool. Fair says the M2000C has the same instrument. I didn't realise that. I knew that it had basically the same instrument, but I didn't realise it. I guess it also has this offset capability. That's pretty cool. Yeah, hello channel, right? Welcome to the stream. So that is pretty much all the news that we have for this week. Again, it's a fairly quiet news week, but not quite as quiet as the last week or two. Hopefully more stuff is coming soon. Feel free to ask questions, by the way, chat, in the stream. I'm going to start kind of winding it down now because there's not that much more to talk about. But if you guys have got comments or questions or anything at all you want to say, fire it into the chat. I am monitoring that. But yeah, here's hoping that we get you know, more information on a Falklands release, more information on a Mirage F1 release at some point soon. It'd be really cool to see those. And of course, we're always looking for exciting updates on the Hind, the Apache, and the other modules that are still in development, like the F-16 and the F-18. Andrew Foote, have you ever looked at the Stream Deck? If so, what are your thoughts on its usefulness in DCS world? My cable is a little bit short, but I have a Stream Deck. I'm using it right now. I always use it for my live streams because it's nice. I only have a single screen. I'm one of those old school guys who just has one monitor for his gaming PC, because actually I do quite a lot of gaming in VR, so it seems silly to me to invest in multiple monitors when actually most of the time I can't see them. So yeah, I've got a Stream Deck, but I really only use it for controlling my stream, funnily enough, which I guess was the original intention for these. Guess that means more Tarkov to fill in the time. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to commit to a Tarkov stream right away, but who knows? Maybe at some point. Channel right. I wonder when the new ground units will be released. Don't have any information on that. They seem to be coming out as a steady trickle. So I would suspect we're just going to see them bit by bit over the next few updates. So yeah, probably coming soon. And have you seen the latest version of the IDF mod Sufa? Yes, I have. I have seen that. It looks quite impressive. I've not flown it myself yet, but they seem to have a really nicely simulated back seat, which is pretty cool. I get the impression that our man Bull in the Virtual Air Force, who's in charge of 2 Squadron, is very excited by it and has flown it a bit. Yeah, it looks really, really good. Channel Right, one could use Stream Deck for planning missions in the comfort of bed. Oh, quite possibly. Like it kind of makes sense using it as like an upfront controller. But you know, again, I'm playing in VR, so for me, it wouldn't really work because I can't see the buttons. So yeah, I would be a pass on that one. Cool. Alrighty. So we're at that part in the show where I have to give. Well, I don't have to, but I want to give the VAF a shout out. Myself and dotChuckles, who would normally be on the stream, we are the founding members of the Virtual Air Force. It's a online squadron with a kind of opt-in milsim approach. We have people who join and just fly as freelancers, in which case you can choose any aircraft type you like, and you can join us as and when you can. But then there's also the option to join a numbered squadron. We have a few of those now. We have numbered squadrons for the F-16, the Harrier, the F-18, the F-14, the A-10, and the Apache. Those have got mandatory training, and when you complete that mandatory training, you achieve a rating, a type rating in that aircraft, and you're considered, you know, able to operate that aircraft in the manner that we would expect from a squadron pilot. We have training sessions every Tuesday at 8 PM UK time, and we have missions every Thursday, again, 8 PM, and we often do server takeovers on Saturday nights as well. Check out the chat there. Stormkin Barry just posted a link to our Discord. Everybody is very welcome to join the Discord, whether you fly with us or not. You know, we can just hang out and chat. Everybody's talking about aviation, or in some cases recipes. And yes, this is the way. Come join us on the Discord. It's a lot of fun. Everybody is welcome, especially if you want to do some DCS flying. Please go ahead and join. And if you want to fly a Harrier, I just happen to be the squadron leader for the Harrier squadron. So, hey, come fly with me and the other Harrier boys. It'll be a laugh. Yes, let me see. What else is people saying? He said it lacked the rear RWR and a few other features. Okay, it's kind of impressive what they're able to do with these community mods. This is us talking about the Sufa again, by the way. It's impressive that they're able to do any of this, in my opinion. James Fenton, what night to fly freelance F-18 or Harrier? You can fly freelance basically, well, kind of whenever you want. We have a server, which is actually down today, but that's a technical issue. Normally our servers are up all the time, and we have one for training, one for missions, but you can fly on those at any time. But freelancers are welcome to join us in the training sessions on Tuesdays, and on the mission nights on Thursdays, and in the server takeovers on Saturdays as well. So very, very welcome to join. Trickers want you, says Fair. Yes. Fair just happens to be the squadron leader for the F-18s, so he'd be very interested in new pilots, I'm sure, as well. Ryan, adding to my Discord for sure. Look forward to seeing you there, sir. Cool. So anyway, as I said, that is all the news we have for this week. Another somewhat slow news week, but really good to see the extra features for the F-16. I may well be returning to the F-16 at some point soon, because that's kind of my first aircraft, the first one that I was interested in. I've just been waiting for it to reach a certain level of completeness before I dive back in. But yeah, looking very, very cool. But yeah, that is all we have for this week. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining, as always. It's every Saturday at 7:30 PM UK time. We have a premiere for the tutorial series, which right now is the Hornet. Like I said, next week on the Saturday at 7:30, we'll have a video all about the JSO, always followed by the DCS news, which just happens to be this thing, what you're watching now. Thank you all very much for your support. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and comment. It's a really big help to the channel, and I'll see you all next time. Fly safe.